Welcome to It's Beyond Me podcast. I'm your host, Freddie T. And as you may see, the scenery is different. We've changed locations, and I will explain to you in due time why. But for now, let's start off the show. So today we're gonna talk about a guy who I've done some commentary about before, and a guy I actually like most of his commentary. It's just lately he just seems very jaded, and it seems like it's all from one point of view, and it's all to stick it to the immigrant. This guy's name is O'Shea Duke Jackson. Now I'm sorry. I normally don't speak on Mr. O'Shea because I normally think some of the stuff he talks about is funny. But lately I've noticed that he doesn't do any homework on his videos, and he's constantly sticking it to the immigrant about certain things. And I find it funny considering that he's a foreigner in the country that he's living in right now, but yet he likes to stick it to foreigners who are in America. It's weird to me. Yet he's always talking about Pan-African this, Pan-African that, and how much he loves Africa and all this. But when you ever hear his commentary when it has to do with immigrants, it's always negative.
ICE agents in plain clothes raided a church in North Carolina, going after anyone they possibly could without asking for ID. Members of the church located in East Charlotte, North Carolina, fled to nearby woods. A 15-year-old said, "We thought the church was safe and nothing was going to happen, but it did happen." According to the witnesses, around 15 to 20 congregants were doing yard work at the church when masked immigration enforcement agents stormed the area. A pastor said the agents asked no questions and provided no identification before detaining one man and attempting to apprehend others. One of the individuals who fled to the nearby woods said, "I thought, wait, why am I running? I'm a U.S. citizen."
Now this is where I have a problem. All right. The topic is awesome. The delivery was pretty good. The clips he put in were awesome. But then you start to see where I have a problem with O'Shea Duke Jackson. I like his commentary. Most of the time it's pretty good. But lately, anytime it has to do with immigrants or immigration, it's pretty jaded and it's pretty sour. I kind of feel like he has some kind of vendetta against the immigrants, even though he himself is an immigrant where he's at.
Got him! Damn, dude took off running and he wasn't even guilty, but wait. Take a look at the aftermath of this raid. We can see children crying and terrified in a place where they're supposed to feel safe. So as you're seeing, ICE is being rough. With the president that we have, he's not going to be out here, playing with people, okay? Especially North Carolina did vote for him. For now, it's a red state. So people just taken off the streets and handcuffed and windows busted out, and they just snatching you up, right? Now, what
he fails to understand is there's technically regulations to all this. They cannot just take you off the street. They cannot just come to your house and bust your door in. And on top of that, when it all comes down to it, there's a lot of different regulations to this. He just thinks that, it's all fun and games, but it's really not. They're actually families who are being ripped apart, and this is what's going on, right?
What's interesting was there was a sister that reported on what was happening live, and this happened.
Border Patrol is in Charlotte, North Carolina, on the south side right now, and they are raiding Hispanic restaurants and places of business. How is it legal? How is it legal? Like the way they are just walking up to people who are working. I have so many videos that I have saved. Walking up to people who are working and just snatching them.
Mind you, this is empathy. This is a person showing empathy. She sees the discrepancy in what we were told when he was voted in. When he was voted in, he said he was gonna deport all the illegal immigrants who are leeching off the system. The ones who are not working, the ones who are just sitting there on Medicaid, the ones who are doing this, right? But the funny part is the ones he's picked up, every single one of the ones he picked up were at workplaces, were either working, doing their jobs, trying to fix their papers, trying to do right? Maybe I'm confused, but what's really going on here? Because when you look at all the videos about ICE raids, or you look at all the videos about immigration, what's the number one thing they always try and say? Oh, it's an immigrant who's a criminal, who's killing people, raping people, and moving all sorts of drugs. That's what you're told. And I will explain this in a few.
In car windows, we snatching people from laundromats, restaurants. Trump, are you serious? How is this legal?
Okay, now shout out to the sister. And again, she is obviously devastating and crying. And again, people take this stuff differently. Not everybody will have the same opinion. But I did see the comments. Shout out to North Carolina Beat. They were covering it. And then, look at this. Actually, empathy is lost on some of y'all in these comments. And that is literally why we are where we are in this country. Okay? This person goes, it's called possessing empathy and humanity. The lack of these is a downfall of humans. Animals show more humanity than humans.
And it's very true, because the problem is when you watch this video, I'm not gonna play the whole video. No offense to him, but I'm not trying to get him paid off what the nonsense he talks on this video right now. Because at the end of the day, he preaches a lot of stuff that does not make sense. After that, he talks about the EB Immigrant Investors Visa, which is what the visa he's talking about. He's not talking about a regular work permit. The EB Immigrant Investors Visa, in where I'm at, in most African countries, is about the standard, the same. In South Africa, where I'm at, it actually costs, the processing fee is about $7,089. And the financial requirement is that you make jobs that make about $294,118 that you pay people, you dispense. So if you have a job, if you can make jobs where you're putting that much money into the economy, that's okay. And he makes it seem like it's so much and all this, but he forgets that the EB Immigrant Investors Visa in America, you have the requirements of that you spend $800,000 US dollars to $1,050,000 US dollars, and they must create 10 jobs. So I don't really understand what he's rambling on about. And then on top of that, the other thing I don't like is the way he came off on this other video. It was very disrespectful. It's like, bro, you're an immigrant where you are at. How do you not have empathy for these people? You, as a black man who supposedly grew up in California and went through all this, and ancestors went through all that, that's where I have a problem. The lack of empathy. And then on top of that, to add insult to everything, he goes and takes the token immigrant, the ones who say, well, my grandparents came like this, and my parents paid and did this and did that. But you know what? Not every parent has money like that. And even if they do, you don't know what they went through to get it. You were a kid. So don't speak on stuff you don't know. I was living in America. I was paying $500 a year to renew my work visa, which was getting approved. Right now, it's still legal. I can do a job and get paid in US dollars from America, just remote. So I don't really understand where he's coming with this. And to be honest with everybody, I just want awareness. I want people to know that not every single immigrant that's getting deported is leeching off the system. I was working a real good job. I was a supervisor where I was at. I was actually, I won't say the title, because then if you work in that field, you know what I was doing. But I was a supervisor where I was working, and it was not an outside job. It was an inside job, and I enjoyed doing what I was doing. I was rendering a service, and everything was great. And to be honest with a lot of people, if you watch most of these raids, ICE raids, they're being done at work. So my question is, How are these people leeching off the system when they're at work? They're not sitting at home. They're not over here waiting for anything. They're at work. I don't know. I would love to hear your comments on this topic. It's another episode of It's Beyond Me podcast. I hope y'all have a great day or night. And tune in. And hopefully we'll have some more episodes. Like, comment, and subscribe. Talk to you later. Peace.